Hello, I'm Edgar Papke. I'm a leadership and organizational psychologist and writer. I focus my work on helping leaders and their teams and organizations to create the alignment necessary to achieve greater levels of success and fulfillment. The one question that I get more than any other is this: what is the greatest challenge that leaders face? Now, as you might imagine, I've given this considerable thought and have pondered this question and explored it in some depth. As a result, I've reached a simple conclusion, one that I think is also very powerful, and it's this: the greatest challenge that leaders face is one that we all share as human beings. That challenge is managing the tension between the two most powerful things in our lives, the two powerful elements in our lives of time and love. It is the elements of time and love that create the tension that manifests in how it is that we ultimately make the most important decisions in our lives. The choices we make that influence, even on a day-to-day basis, our relationships to our business, our communities, our careers, our families, and ultimately the relationship that we have to ourselves. This understanding led me to an idea, one which I call the third element. I've come to the conclusion that along with the elements of time and love, there's a third element, and that is the element of alignment. You see, alignment is about having an awareness of who we are and what we want in our lives. Alignment allows us to find the paths to make the decisions and make the choices which manifest in the highest levels of success and fulfillment in our lives. Ultimately, it informs us on how we make the choices and decisions so that we can live love to the fullest in the time that we have. I'd like to explore this idea of alignment with you further. Let me begin with a brief story. When I was in the 6th grade, we had a new student join us. Her name was Kim. And if you've ever watched The Wonder Years, the main character, Kevin, is infatuated with and adores a character named Winnie. Winnie had long brown hair and big brown eyes, and needless to say, Kim was my Winnie. Well, after a couple of weeks into the school year, I saw Kim walking towards me in the playground during recess, and in her hands I saw that she had a note. And as she came closer to me and my heart started racing, I noticed on that note were the letters G-A-R. Edgar, right? Well, as she came closer to me with my heart racing, she handed me the note, and as her hands came away from the note, I could see what was written on it. Gary. Gary was my best friend. My heart sank. Kim looked up at me with her big brown eyes. She said, "Edgar, will you give this note to Gary? I've got such a crush on him. I'm so afraid to talk to him." Sure. And I did. I gave the note to Gary, and before recess was over, they were talking to each other, and as we headed back to the classroom, they did so hand in hand. Well, that evening over dinner, my mother realized my melancholy and that I was sad. And she asked me what happened, and I shared the story of what happened on the playground that day. And of course, with all the love that she could muster up, all the unconditional love and empathy and compassion that a mother can bring to bear, she looked deep into my eyes and said, "Don't worry, you'll find true love. You've got plenty of time." This is something that at some point in our lives most of us are told. And it reminds us of this significant tension in our lives. See, what happens when we explore the relationship between love and time, we come to a realization. See, early on in life, as we look at this relationship between love and time, early on in life, we have limited love relationships. We come into the world, and of course, the first love relationships we have are with our parents. And then those that are immediately with us in our families, perhaps our siblings. And then what happens over time is that love manifests itself in different ways. We have our first crush. And my mother was right. I got over that crush. And I found true love. I met my wife and we started a life together. And we had children and added more love relationships and depth of love to our lives. And then our children had children of their own, our grandchildren, more slices of the heart filled with love. See, one of the things that we realize in life is that our capacity for love, our capability to love, is actually infinite. See, what happens is, through time, is our ability to love and love in deep ways expands. Here's the thing, and here's the underlying truth that we all come to grips with, is that while love is expansive, that we can love infinitely, time contracts. As we expand love in our lives, our time of life contracts. Time is the constant. Love is the infinite. It's this relationship that inevitably challenges us most. This is the relationship that we have with time and love that I wind up in my conversations with leaders eventually talking about. This is the core of our existence. And that leads me to the third element of alignment. In my work, what I've discovered, that alignment is the key to success, that there are paths of alignment that we can all take and discover so that we can live love to the fullest in the time that we have. The highest levels and truest levels of fulfillment and success are driven by our desire to manifest who we are. Alignment begins with awareness and then the understanding of the paths of alignment that we can take to achieve the levels of satisfaction and success in our lives that we all yearn for, that we all desire, that we all strive for. What I'd like to do is invite you to explore this with me further. Over the coming months, I'd like to invite you to a conversation about the third element of alignment. I'd like you to explore with me what the different possibilities are for you and how you manifest the third element of alignment in all aspects of your lives, in your business, in your relationships, in your communities, in your friendships, in your family relationships, as well as in relationship to yourself. To do this, simply go to my website, edgarpapke.com, register to join the conversation. I think you'll find it enriching, satisfying, and will help you to navigate the tension in your lives created by love and time. Please register. Please join the conversation. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.